All right, coming up, a pirate story. Again, you may have heard of it, where you have, it ends with 3 pirates dead. And we want to know, how is this going on? This is in 1812, where pirates were running loose. I mean, this is 2009. How are pirates taking ships and hostages at will? Looking back, captured by pirates, saved by Navy snipers, the 5-day really ended in the blink of an eye, but now these pirates are threatening to kill Americans. Let's bring in our Prime News correspondent, Rochelle Carey. All right, get us up to speed on this one, Rochelle.
All right, Mike, Sunday night, 3 Navy SEALs perched on the back of a naval ship fired 3 headshots, killing the hostage takers and freeing Captain Richard Phillips. To give you an idea of how accurate these snipers are, Mike, the Navy SEALs were about 25 yards away. They were in complete darkness in the middle of the choppy ocean, and within seconds of getting the order to shoot, the 3 pirates were dead. That order was given as soon as the commander saw the pirate level an AK-47 at the captain's back. A 4th pirate was actually on board the U.S. ship trying to negotiate a deal when the shots were fired. He is now in custody. The Navy says Captain Phillips is in good health, resting comfortably. His family says he's in good spirits, but as you mentioned, this isn't over. Somali pirates are now threatening to target and kill Americans. One pirate told a journalist that if they happen to get other U.S. hostages, they will kill them. There aren't exactly empty threats either. Right now, Somali pirates have control of 16 ships and more than 228 hostages. Some military experts think this recent shooting could lead to even more piracy, more violence, Mike. And I think people that weren't paying attention to this before, even though it's been happening for a long time, they're paying attention now.
Yeah, wake-up call for all of us, Rochelle. Thanks for that. We're all on the same page now. Okay, so I'm sure many of you might self as well think, well, why don't these cargo ships have better protection, i.e., guns, military escorts, whatever they need? Joining us now to talk about this, James Christodoulou. He's from the Industrial Shipping Enterprises. Also with us, former Navy SEAL Harry Humphreys. James, you hear those numbers, and I think Rochelle points it out, as we hear this story and we hear hostages, over 200, 16 ships in control, why aren't the ships better prepared, and why don't they arm up? Help us out here.
Well, first of all, these are merchant vessels, and just so everyone knows, the ship owners have been taking precautions, anti-piracy measures, as per Admiral in the Mideast suggestions about high-speed transit, barbed wire, extra vigilance and lookouts, high-pressure hoses and steam for a long, long time. But these are merchant ships. These are commercial vessels. They're not armed to repel attacks. And many times we're carrying, flammable or hazardous material. We can't even smoke on deck, let alone walk around with arms and weapons. So there are a bunch of different reasons that to arm ships is just not feasible.
Okay. Harry, agree or disagree with that? Do you think ships should be armed for this type of thing?
Yeah, I certainly agree, and I understand where James is coming from in terms of just putting arms on the vessels. But the owners have the option, have 3 options, obviously. One, to rely on the insurance carrier and, of course, the additional premium they have to pay on the war risk zone of the Horn of Africa, paying off the pirates when they hit. 33,000 ships per year travel through that area, and we've had less than 1% incursions. Now, that said, that's going to grow. The easier we make it for these kinds of folks to simply take over vessels, the quicker and the faster that threat's going to climb.
Okay, guys.
We need to do something. We need. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, we're going to take a quick break. We'll continue on the other side. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Prime News on HLN. We're continuing our conversation about the pirates and what we're dealing with off the coast of Somalia. When we talk about 200 hostages, 16 ships held by pirates as we speak, many of us are startled by that, and it was the story of the weekend that obviously becomes our wake-up call. We're talking with James Christodoulou and also Harry Humphreys. Harry, former Navy SEAL. Harry, let me pick up with you on just the threat now coming from the pirates. Are they going to go after Americans? What should be the response from Secretary Gates, President Obama?
Well, Secretary Gates, President Obama have already done the right thing in terms of putting the action in the hands, or the tactical responsibility in the hands of the forces afloat in the region. We have formed up Combined Task Force 151, which has the sole responsibility of leading a combined national flotilla, if you will, against piracy in the region. The problem is that the region is so vast, 1.1 million square miles just in the Gulf of Aden alone, and almost 2,000 miles of coastline in Somalia, that we couldn't possibly cover the entire area appropriately with military vessels.
Okay.
So a combination of things have to occur.
Gotcha.
You have to have convoy, and you have to have self-responsibility for your own protection.
Okay, let's listen to President Obama talk about the threat and talk about his resolve. Let's listen.
I want to be very clear that we are resolved to halt the rise of piracy in that region. And to achieve that goal, we're going to have to continue to work with our partners to prevent future attacks. We have to continue to be prepared to confront them when they arise. And we have to ensure that those who commit acts of piracy are held accountable for their crimes.
All right, James, one of your ships was hijacked back in November, correct?
That's correct.
So after listening to this, what would you like to see done? What steps do you think need to be taken to make sure these cargo ships are safer?
Well, there have been a lot of calls to weaponize, to arm these
Right.
vessels, and people have said you should arm the crew. First of all, let me say that arming the crew, aside from legal implications that may make it impossible, it's a logistics nightmare. There are 1.3 million seafarers around the world. There are 50,000 vessels that travel the seas. So just the logistics of the training, the certification, the distribution and monitoring of those weapons makes it really a nightmare and can lead to escalation and proliferation of violence.
James, what happens, okay, if pirates come up to one of your ships, they're going to go on the attack, they're going to try and take it over. What's standard operating procedure? We got about 40 seconds. Go ahead.
Well, it's to do high-speed S-turns, to fire high-pressure hoses or steam hoses at them. But let me just say that all of these non-lethal defensive countermeasures will maybe delay, but will not deter a really determined pirate of attack. We believe that the military and government agencies are the people best suited to really provide protection in that area.
Okay, you guys, we're going to have to leave it there. I wish we had more time. James, Harry, I appreciate it. Thank you both.